So you've got tight hips. This is how we can stretch them. I'm just going to take you on a fairly short and simple hip stretch, really great for finishing your day with, or if you've been walking with your little one in a sling all day. We are going to start, look, you guys have got the crotch shot, apologies. You're going to start sitting up nice and tall. Those feet are going to be spread out, so roughly I'd say twice hip width. You're going to have the hands behind you for a little bit of extra support. You're going to roll those shoulders down and back, press the floor away to keep that back nice and long. And from here, you're just going to start moving one knee. So I'm going to start with this knee. We're going to watch this knee. It's going to come down towards the ground. Other knee is staying exactly where it is. And as soon as you can't take it down any further, and please do not push this, you just want to feel a nice stretch through there. Then the other knee starts coming down too. You're going to keep both bum cheeks on the ground together. So depending on tightness and how this feels, you might not get that knee down too far, but do not worry. If you feel any strain through the knee, then just stop. And once it's down as far as it can go, then it's this knee's turn to keep moving out. So it's going to start going to the other side. And again, that knee stays where it is. So we're stretching now the inside of the hips. And then when this one can't move any further, the other one starts to move in. Take it nice and gentle when it can't go any further. And without straining the knee, that's when this one comes all the way over again. So take that down as far as it can go. And this time now, this knee is going to come down. You can change the angle if it feels right. And you're then just going to lift that bum cheek off the ground and you can push through the hips. So by this point, both knees should be on the ground and you should be able to stretch in a slightly different way. Let's take it back down again. So opening up again, that knee's going to stay where it is. And when it can't move any further, that's when this other knee starts coming up. So just check to make sure, especially the knee that's just turning in, is roughly 90 degrees. And then you can push through the hips, pressing that bum forwards and seeing how that feels. Okay, I'm going to come back down, all the way up, and we're going to stretch those feet out nice and wide. Sit up nice and tall, draw those ribs down, and with a nice flat back, we're gently going to take a little lean forwards, and you should feel a nice stretch on the inside of the thighs. Good. So we're going to hold this here. We often find that we want to try and lean and stretch as much as we can, and especially with this stretch we kind of go, oh right, I'm going to do this, and you come down. But just for now, we're going to keep a nice long back, so you might only come forwards a couple of inches. Remember, stretching is really personal, so make sure you're doing it for you. Good stuff. If you feel like you want to, you can start rounding through the back, drop those elbows down. But again, we don't want to push this. This isn't going to be something where we want to strain anything or push things too far. Come all the way back up. And now we're going to go to one side. We're going to take this into a bit of a pinwheel. So we want to have 90 degrees in these knees. We're going to face one way and we're just going to stretch down over this knee. Elbows can come down to the floor. What you want to try and do is almost push this hip forward slightly, and that will actually intensify a stretch down through that left glute. So if I'm trying to push that right hip into the ground or pushing it forwards this way, that's also going to help stretch through that left bum cheek. Hold this here, make sure you're breathing. So every single time you breathe out, just relax a bit more into the stretch. But again, try not to push it. Walk yourself up using those hands for support, and then let's take it over to the other side. Let's check first of all that we've got 90 degrees, sitting up nice and tall. We want to try and swivel those hips over so that our hips are facing in the same direction as that front leg, and we're going to come down. Drop the elbows, and again, feel like you're pushing this hip forwards, and you should then feel the stretch transfer to that right bum cheek. hold it down here just for a little bit. And from here, you're going to place both hands on the ground. You're going to breathe out to get yourself in a position where you are kneeling. Oh, cut my head off. You don't need to see my head anyway. From here, make sure you have got 90 degrees between these legs, and you're just going to scoop that pelvis under. So as you scoop this pelvis under, you can also imagine you're trying to sort of stop a fart getting out. Scoop things under, and you should immediately feel a bit of a stretch in this area. So this is your hip flexors, and if you've been sitting for a long period of time, that's where they can get a little bit stiff. So you want to scoop, and then keeping everything, the upper part of the body, really nice and long and straight and moving as one unit. You're just going to lean forwards, and you should feel a bit more of an intensification through this area. Often what we see is people come like this, and that's not the stretch that we're looking to do. So come back up, scoot that pelvis forwards, everything moves as a unit. There's no arching through the back. Hold this here for as long as feels good, and then we'll take it over to the other side. I'm just going to move this slightly. There you go. Now you can see my pretty face. My tired, haggard, I didn't sleep well last night face. Okay, so now we're on the other side and we have 90 degrees. We're going to scoop that pelvis, intensify the stretch through here. Head, shoulders and hips just move forward ever so slightly, and you should be able to feel a bit more of an intensified stretch. Good. So when you're doing this, also experiment slightly. So when we've done that scooping up the pelvis, we can keep quite a lot of tension through here. Once you've scooped it and you've leaned forward slightly, just try and relax through this leg. So you still want to keep that pelvis scooped forwards, but you don't have a huge amount of tension. It's amazing how we often find that we are gripping certain things and we don't even realise it. Come back up, and then from here, just going to finish with a little hip circle. So as you're coming down into these hip circles, really feel a way through it, especially as you're coming to the side. Good. And let's take it down to the other side. Good. And last one, you're going to widen those knees. Elbows are going to come down nice and slow to the ground, and you're going to rock forward. So your hips are going to come up off the ground, and you're going to come forwards and back just to stretch out again through the inside of the thighs. Good. And you are done. Give that a go at home and let me know what you think.